All right, let's talk about your personal renaissance. Seriously, this isn't about those small, forgettable New Year's resolutions. No, this is about a fundamental transformation, about rewriting the very code of who you are for the year ahead. Let's dive in.
I want you to picture an orange for a second. If you squeeze that orange as hard as you can, what comes out? Orange juice, right? Of course. And why? Well, because that's what's inside. So when life squeezes you, and you know it will, when the pressure is on, what comes out? Is it anger, frustration, bitterness? Or is it resilience, grace, and hope? It's a really simple but powerful question to ask yourself. What's really inside?
You see, the whole core of this transformation, this renaissance, is a massive shift in how you see yourself. It's about moving from being just a passive consumer of life, just kind of taking whatever comes your way, to becoming the active, intentional creator of your own destiny. You're not just a character in the story anymore. You are the author.
So, how do we get there? Here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to walk through 4 key pillars. First, we'll talk about rewriting your inner code. Then, we'll get into building a rock-solid foundation of vitality. Third, we'll cover how to fuel your wealth revolution. And finally, I'll give you a practical toolkit to maintain clarity all year long.
Okay, let's start with the most critical piece of the puzzle, becoming your own internal architect. There's a great saying that success isn't something you chase down. It's something you attract by the person you become. And that entire process, it starts right between your ears. And this brings us to a really powerful concept called identity-based habits. I want you to just forget traditional goal setting for a minute. Instead of focusing on what you want to achieve, like, say, running a marathon, this method has you focus on who you wish to become. Now, this might sound like a small change, but the shift is absolutely huge. Don't say, I'm trying to run more. Start telling yourself, I am a runner. See the difference? Once you anchor that new I am statement, your actions will naturally start to align with it. You're not forcing yourself to do something anymore. You're simply acting in alignment with who you are. And look, you don't need some massive, radical overhaul overnight. In fact, that's usually just a recipe for burnout. The real secret here is to focus on tiny 1% daily improvements. These little micro habits, they seem insignificant day to day, but they can pound over time. And believe me, they lead to an absolutely mind-blowing transformation by the end of the year. All right, so we've got the mindset piece. Now let's move on to our second pillar, your vitality foundation. Because let's be real, you can't build an empire if you're running on empty. This year, I want you to think of your health as your ultimate superpower. We're in the middle of this major shift away from what you could call reactive health. Waiting until something is broken and then trying to fix it. The 2026 way is all about proactive prevention. It's about using data, using things like biomarkers and personalized nutrition to optimize your health before things go wrong. And this foundation is built on simple, non-negotiable daily habits. Think of these as your daily reset buttons. First, sleep. And listen, it's not a luxury. It's essential cognitive restoration. Then you have personal hygiene, little rituals that send a powerful signal to your brain, I am worthy of care. And tools like breathwork or somatic movement, they aren't just trendy fads. They are practical ways to regulate your nervous system and build real resilience to stress. Okay, let's talk about the engine that's going to power all of your dreams, your wealth. Now, this isn't about greed or just piling up cash. It's about creating the resources and the freedom that you need to build the life you actually envision. Money is the fuel for your personal renaissance. A modern approach to this has 3 key parts. First, you have to build security with an emergency fund. I like to call this your financial passport because it gives you the freedom to stop thinking about survival and start thinking about growth. Next, you focus on mastering high-income skills, things like AI, digital marketing, skills that are in huge demand right now. And finally, you protect that wealth by owning hard assets. But you might be thinking, what if I'm starting from a place of debt? That's where a tool like the debt snowball method is so incredibly powerful. You just list out all your debts, from the smallest balance to the largest, then you throw every extra penny you have at that smallest one. The magic here isn't really the math, it's the psychological momentum you get from those quick wins, from seeing those balances disappear one by one. Let me tell you about a real-world example. Imagine starting your financial journey $110,000 in the red. I mean, that feels completely impossible, doesn't it?
Well, for one person, this was their reality. And they didn't find some get-rich-quick scheme. They just adopted a simple mindset. Control what you can control.
And the whole game changed with this one mindset shift. They stopped seeing saving money as a sacrifice and started seeing it as a direct investment in their own future happiness. Every dollar they put away wasn't a dollar they lost today, it was a dollar they were giving to the free, happy person they wanted to be tomorrow.
And look at this timeline. It just shows the incredible power of consistency. It took five full years just to get back to zero, to a net worth of nothing. But then the momentum from those daily habits really took over. By automating their finances, they reached millionaire status just 5 years after that. It just proves that success is never a lightning strike. It's the slow, steady result of your daily habits.
Okay, so finally, let's pull all of this together with the tools you need to actually sustain this transformation. This is your Clarity Toolkit, and it's designed to keep your personal renaissance going strong all year long and honestly, well beyond.
So here are 5 essential practices for lasting change. First, digital clarity. You've got to detox your phone to get back your most valuable resource, your focus. Second, empowered boundaries. Just remember this. No is a complete sentence. It's an act of self-respect. Third is gratitude, a simple practice that literally rewires your brain to see the positive. Fourth, community, because deep, real human connection is one of the biggest predictors of a long, happy life. And finally, self-compassion, because this journey isn't a straight line. You're going to stumble. Be kind to yourself and just get back up.
So, the year is waiting. It's a blank page. And it's not waiting for a better version of you. It's waiting for the real you to finally emerge. The creator, the architect, the one who's truly ready to build an amazing life. The only question left is, who will you become?